Hey guys, Drifter here. Right now feels like the calm before the storm that is Modern Warfare Beta's release, the videos that are coming, the streams that are coming, and what I expect to be an overall positive community explosion. And that's going to be the subject of today's video. But first, I wanted to point out a very different storm has already hit the Bahamas and is on the way to the mainland United States, which is Hurricane Dorian. The first link down there below in the description is to the Red Cross, like my shirt, red, and it is the most reputable disaster relief organization that I could find for Hurricane Dorian. Dorian has pretty much already destroyed the Bahamas. I was listening to NPR today when I went to pick the dogs up, and a local said it's not totally destroyed. It's only like 80% devastation, which to me was terrifying. And if you live in Florida, things might be bad there. So if you are in the way of the hurricane, please be safe. Like, seriously, take it seriously. I've been in hurricanes before. They can sneak up on you, so to speak. They can get worse than they look, and I prefer my fans to be alive. So leave if you can. If you can't, just read up on how to avoid getting trapped in houses, how to avoid floods, and board up your windows. Or if you're not in the way of the hurricane and you want to help out, there is the Red Cross Relief Fund down there below in the description. And I've talked a lot about that like it was a sponsored thing, even though it was just something I wanted to do. But let's get back on topic. Right now, I feel like I have almost nothing to do but sit around and just wait for Modern Warfare Beta to drop. I've got nothing going on at the moment. And in the meantime, you'll probably see me experiment with some other games, but I'm really just kind of buying time and waiting on that Modern Warfare Beta. And I think the whole community right now currently is unsatisfied with Modern Warfare, the marketing, what's been teased, and I think that they're especially unsatisfied with the 2v2 alpha, perhaps so that we don't have any misunderstandings. Not disappointed. I don't think the community was disappointed with the alpha or the gameplay or the fundamentals that it showed, but it just didn't offer enough. The alpha was just a small little teaser, an appetizer, so to speak. It's like going to dinner at Applebee's and then you order your appetizer and your meal together, and they bring out the appetizer, and then the waiter just gets mad and quits, and then your meal just disappears, so you eventually leave hungry. But in the case of Applebee's, you don't feel too bad about it because everything's microwaved anyway. But with Modern Warfare, you would feel bad because everybody wants more. They want more players. They want bigger maps. They want gun customization. They want to try all these new things that YouTubers have been showing and haven't been able to for themselves. I think that this game and this beta is also a huge crossroads for the entire Call of Duty brand. And this is the time to decide the fate of the entire franchise for a couple of different reasons. 4 of them I actually have as we move on into our main point today. Reason number 1 is that the community seems to like Modern Warfare, and our community might actually grow for once, which is just kind of rare and crazy sounding to me because Call of Duty as a brand has been on the decline for far too long. I mean, it's been circling the drain. Every year we gain a few, we lose a lot. Every year the sales go down. Every year the prestige goes down. The hype on the reveals go down. And the last couple of games, aside from Black Ops 3 was really hype, but aside from that, the other ones have been rougher. And as a community, we need a breather. We need some space. We need some hope. We need new, fresh blood pumping into the franchise. This franchise can't sustain itself off 35-year-olds that have jobs now. And this game, Modern Warfare, could be a game that completely rebuilds the Call of Duty brand. I think it's that good overall. I think it has amazing potential. It actually has potential for Call of Duty to be number 1 again, except maybe to Fortnite. We probably won't kick Fortnite out. Maybe number 2 again. And that leads me to reason number 2. We're at a crossroads with the game, and this beta will be a proving grounds for a lot of unusual design choices that are going to be put to the test, such as no radar, which is probably the biggest one that's being put to the test. That's the one the community has really harped on, Reddit and the pros talked about, and everybody talked about. That's a huge one. And I'm assuming that they're going to test it both ways during the beta. I've got no special knowledge or anything, but I feel like it'd be silly if they didn't. We're going to be going through weapon mounting, side, vertical, prone, what you can and can't mount to, how quickly you do it, how much it helps your gun, where your body is, and a lot of different things like that. It could just be too cheesy, too much recoil reduction, too unfair, too much camping. On the topic of camping, we've got asymmetrical maps coming back that are also just literally unfair occasionally because that's how real life is, and they wanted that sort of hardcore element in the game. It'll be a proving ground of Infinity Ward's long-standing tradition of asymmetrical maps versus the sort of bounce houses that Call of Duty has had for a long time, and the parkour on those maps. How you can climb, where you can get to places, how good the vaulting and mantling is, could make mobility either rewarding or broken. The scale of Call of Duty being huge, the beta is supposed to test out huge multiplayer game modes. So, I mean, I only played 20v20. We didn't try no 50v50 or 100v100 or whatever massive, ridiculous thing it is that they're planning. So, that'll be a new one for the community. We've got an insane level of weapon kitting and customization that has never been tried. I don't know if fans are going to make them bad. I don't know if they're going to make them better. I don't know if they're going to find broken stuff. And, you know, we got some weirder items like heartbeat sensors and stopping power. But the point of my rambling now is that any one of these things out of balance could really tank everyone's enjoyment for Modern Warfare. If not having a radar is a deal breaker, well, it's just not going to be fun for people. If the weapon mounting is too easy to do, it's going to be too campy. If the asymmetrical maps are too crazy, it's also going to be campy. If the parkour is too strong, everybody's just going to climb on top of secret spots and camp. If the maps being too big, or the skill streaks or just the scale of it not works, well, there's just a whole mode that kind of dies and is wasted. The weapon kitting can make or break. The balance and all these goofy little items and attachments can make or break. And these are a lot of non-traditional design choices that Infinity Ward has thrown out that they now have to prove works in the public environment with little Jimmy No Thumbs and his most unfair strategy that he can think of with his all day at middle school, and I assure you he's going to find something annoying that involves claymores. Reason number 3 today is that crossplay success or failure may shape exclusivity deals for the future of the franchise. As of now, Sony has the exclusive deal for Call of Duty, and Microsoft had it before that. But I think that Sony's kind of getting a raw deal on this one because they only get that exclusivity 1 week early instead of the month or 2 months or whatever they had in the past. And there's crossplay in the game, which generally speaking, Sony has not been a fan of. Sony as the #1 platform on the planet right now, for actually #2, I think Switch is #1. Of the big 2 consoles, Sony is dominant, so they don't really like crossplay. They were one of the last to add it for Fortnite. Activision, however, is betting on crossplay, growing the player pool and the popularity of the game so that you can play with your friends no matter what console they have, so that the matchmaking is better, so that we don't run into low population moments. If crossplay works, I think it's going to be a stepping stone to completely moving away from console exclusivity and putting us closer to getting a sort of rollover type Call of Duty every year with a launcher, kind of like Fortnite had, kind of like launching Steam or your Epic Games thing, or like every League of Legends, whatever. Almost every game now has its own little launcher that you launch it through, and it rolls over a big season change about once or twice a year. And I really believe that if this crossplay thing is absolutely banging and we see success on PC, then it's a stepping stone toward that kind of Call of Duty, which in my opinion is better because then at least your loot will carry over year to year. However, if crossplay is a miserable failure for technical reasons or lag reasons or just unfair or unpopular or whatever, people just don't do it because they think it smells bad, then Activision may just sign another super exclusive contract with Sony or Xbox or Switch or just whoever offers them the most money, because we know that Activision's going to take whatever makes them the most money up front. That's what any smart business would do. And if your crossplay experiment didn't make you more money than the exclusivity, it's going to be exclusive. And finally, reason number 4, the thing that I've been harping on to the point where I feel like we've beaten the dead horse into a fine pulp and used that as fertilizer to grow some plants and fed those plants to a new horse that I've then beaten into another fine pulp, is that I think that COD players are kind of at their breaking point with game quality and microtransactions, man. COD games have not been what COD fans have wanted for way too long, and for way too long the microtransactions have just been increasing and bleeding fans dry for crazy amounts of money. So it's not really something that we're likely to see in the beta. We may see some beta files. I'm sure people on PC will pick it apart and learn things. We may see some loot coming into circulation for free if they test those systems, which is a little bit unlikely. But I think that this is the last chance to get it right before the entire franchise just completely deflates like an old balloon. And that would be bad. We don't want that. Either way, I'm going to be there with you guys on the front line. I'm going to be planning some beta streams this week. Now that my health is a bit better, I should be able to stream a little bit longer here and on Mixer. But I'll probably be making more videos about this beta than the last one, because I think that there's just going to be a lot more video content. The 2v2 I just streamed because there's nothing really to make content on, honestly. But going to be making a lot of content for this one, a lot of good content. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy a couple of these short little Twitter videos while I pad for length. Drifter out.
Mission accomplished. Top marks.
Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I'm trying out another random Asian drink. This one has no English writing on it whatsoever. However, on the back I can see that it's Blue Sword brand and it's called Plant Protein Beverage. So I'm trying a plant protein beverage that has the ingredients of a lot of artificial stuff and water, sugar, and peanut. So I'm hoping for a peanut flavored muscle milk type drink. So it seems a lot like milk, but the flavor, you can see my wife, my camera person, isn't particularly impressed. Let's try the flavor. Oh no. It smells like peanuts that are on fire. That is undoubtedly the worst peanut flavor I've ever put in my mouth. It's similar to roasted peanuts still in the shell if they were on fire mixed with milk, not insignificant portion of water. So it's like milky water and maybe a little bit of talcum powder. That's a big zero. I'd have to be real hungry to drink that.
Ah! I'm on fire. I got him.
There's a lot of scary things going on, I feel like.
Oh, they're dead now, guys. We should have this.